This is huge. The Calgary Flames have multiple roster decisions to make this week, and they've already made a few of those decisions, so we have multiple roster updates to go through. Plus, there's one particular rookie prospect being deemed a dark horse to make the team. We're going to get into all that more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. Let's start with this big roster update that we have here. It was kind of, I guess, revealed yesterday, but there's an even deeper update to it. And of course, we know it's training camp time, it's preseason time, which of course means that cuts do need to be made, and the Flames need to make a lot this week. And we have the first round of them, as Pat Steinberg provided us, that the Flames are down to 31 players in camp, 7 sent down to the AHL Wranglers. So Hunter Brustevich, who a lot of people want to see at the NHL level at some point this year, as he did play game number 82 last year. I'm sure that will happen. Nick Cechek, Artem Grushnikov in terms of defensemen, and then William Stromgren, Sammy Honzek, after putting on all that muscle, wasn't able to crack the team. So Stromgren, Honzek, and Sunyev, another guy who a lot of people want to see at the NHL level, played that game number 82. He's been sent down, and then Owen Say in terms of goaltenders, all sent down. So Calgary's now at 3 goalies, 10 D-men, and 18 forwards. And we actually have an additional update to just this, as more people were actually put on waivers. So yesterday's waiver wire included guys like Clark Bishop, Dryden Hunt, Yan Kuznetsov, and Sam Morton. So some decently big names in there. People who, Dryden Hunt has played a lot of NHL games at this point. Clark Bishop, Sam Morton, guys who could come up at any point. Yan Kuznetsov, who honestly had a solid camp, it seems, and solid preseason. They were all put on waivers, and I can now say that officially at the time of this recording, they have all cleared waivers. There were a bunch of people put on waivers yesterday, and only one person was actually picked up in the entire league. So all of those guys have cleared waivers and will be sent down to the Wranglers as well. And I believe that's 3 forwards and 1 defenseman as well. So yes, big roster update. The cuts have started. The waivers are already going in, and so far no one has been plucked, which is a good thing, but there are going to be some more decisions that will have to be made, including waivers and the roster, of course, as we head into the regular season, which starts just next week. How excited are you? Let's get into the next roster decision, the big one that a lot of people are talking about right now, and it's a name that, has made its rounds a ton ever since the rookie showcase, the next gen showcase against the Oilers rookies, and it is Matvei Gridin, of course. So Tyler Rollader here says Calgary Flames prospect roundup, a dark horse flame, and as you can guess from the person in the photo there, it is Matvei Gridin. So he writes, most seasons are now underway, which is good news for the Calgary Flames organization as they look to rebuild. Most seasons, of course, in terms of junior seasons, whether it's college, junior hockey, whatever else. So a large number of cuts from the Flames preseason camp have taken place over the last week. These cuts mean more prospects starting their seasons with their normal teams, which of course is good. But one guy who has stuck around is Matvei Gridin, of course. So when Gridin was drafted, many praised his skating, shooting, and finishing ability, which all have continued to grow since. He even collected the QMJHL Offensive Rookie of the Year for the 2024-25 campaign. His playmaking, timing, and finishing are on track to develop even more this year. With all of that being said, there are still some question marks around compete level, physicality, awareness, and top-end speed that Gridin needs to figure out, and that's fine. That's what you would expect out of a young guy. But he is being deemed here as the dark horse to kind of make the team out of camp, the NHL team. And, last year it was Sammy Honzek who kind of surprised and did really well. This year it seems like Gridin is definitely up there, as is Rory Cairns, of course. And it's complicated. The Flames could fit both of those guys in, of course. The only thing that when it comes down to this roster decision that I think makes it easier to actually send Gridin down is that he does not require waivers. Some of these other guys, they do require waivers, which becomes a little tougher. I'm not saying Gridin doesn't deserve a spot on this team, and I certainly think he does. But the fact that he doesn't require those waivers means you don't risk losing him, whereas you do risk losing some of those other guys that are competing for forward spots as well. Guys like Rory Cairns or even Justin Kirkland, Adam Klapka, guys like that. So Gridin doesn't require it. It will still become a roster decision. I actually read recently that this could be the first time since 1980-81. So the Flames, isn't that their first year in Calgary? It would be the first time since then that the Flames would have 2 teenagers on their roster to start the year, of course, in Gridin and Perek. assuming that they both make the team, of course. But either way, it is a roster decision to be made, but Gridden has been outstanding since the Next Gen Showcase. All throughout the preseason, too, he has been probably one of the Flames' best players, especially in the games he's played in. I mean, shout out to guys like Cairns. Morgan Frost has been incredible, but Gridden really showing his stuff. Yes, there's room to grow. You can always do that at the NHL level. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Where's the better place to develop than in the show itself? But it is a roster decision. Gridden kind of being deemed here as a dark horse to make the team, which is a little shocking, but it could absolutely happen. And we will get actually another glimpse of that as we head into tonight's game as the preseason does continue. The Flames are at home this time to the Vancouver Canucks. This one at the Dome. Goes at 7 p.m. This one is actually finally streaming on Sportsnet. It won't be streamed through the Flames website. So as long as you have Sportsnet, should be able to watch it. Of course, you don't need to be in the Flames region, I don't think, for that one. But what's very interesting is a couple things. Goaltending and the rest of the lineup for tonight. So let's start with the goaltending. Steinberg says that Ivan Prosvetov is in the starter's net this morning for Wednesday's game against Vancouver. It looks like he will get the start before Devin Cooley comes in for the second half of the game. Big night between the pipes. And I think that's kind of a nod at this point that Huska and co are more confident in putting Big Ivan in net over Cooley, which I know that's not exactly ideal for Cooley. And both of these guys, too, actually do also require waivers. So one of them could get plucked up as well. Which one are you more likely, to risk losing? Does that play a decision in who you have as Wolf's backup, or do you just choose who's been better, which unfortunately for, big Cooley fans and his bunny, it has been Prosvetov, and it looks like they are leaning that way as well. But this will be a big indicator. They're playing against the same lineup, so you can't use the lineup argument. Who will show out better? So far, Prosvetov in the, driver's seat to get that NHL spot. Cooley not, but it could all change and maybe will happen tonight. Now, the other big thing about the lineup tonight is how, I guess, almost NHL ready it looks. And this could be a lineup that the Flames could potentially ice in that first game of the year. So here we go. This is the projected lineup for Wednesday's game against Vancouver. A top line of Farabee, Kadri, and Sharkey. What an interesting one that is. Huberdeau, Frost, and Coronato. Gridden with Backlund and Coleman. Obviously that spot has been up for grabs the past few years. Last year it was mostly Coronato. The year before it was, of course, Andrew Mangiapane. Could it be Gridden's spot this year? And then Zary, Cairns on the fourth line, and Pospisil. So no Lomberg, no Klapka, no Kirkland. Some guys who could be in there, but that's a very interesting overall. Should be a real, I guess, total audition for Gridden and Cairns to be in more of an NHL lineup, see if they do fit in terms of defensemen. Hanley with Weegs, what you expect. Ball with Andersson, what you expect. And then Perek with Pahal. So again, that could be your 6 guys heading into that first game. And as we know, Prosvetov and Cooley as the goalie. So other than Wolf missing, this could pretty much be an NHL lineup that starts a game. Those lines are kind of crazy. I don't know if they're trying to sort out some chemistry or what's going on there. But both Gridden and Cairnsen will make a lot of people happy. Who knows? Maybe they show out and they make the team. Again, it's all an audition, and you can watch it tonight against the Canucks. Now, let's wrap up this video with the comment of the day, as we love to do here on the channel. It comes from yesterday's video, of course. Well, actually, 2 days ago, the most recent video on the channel. And it comes from Immortal. So Immortal says, give Cairns a chance. And I agree. Miro is best to send down because Zane Perek deserves a spot on that defense. And it's true. At this point, if Cairns goes on waivers, fans will not be happy. If he clears waivers, then everything's fine. But I honestly just don't think that's going to happen at this point. So give Cairns a chance for sure. Open up a forward spot. A defenseman can go down and potentially get plucked. A guy like Miro. A lot of people are saying shop him too for, pennies at this point. And we do love him, but hey, there's just no spot for him. He deserves a chance elsewhere. But either way, Miro down there. A lot of people are saying put Jake Bean down as well. You risk losing him. I think that's okay with a lot of people as well. So either way, very interesting. But Cairns gets another shot tonight. Hopefully his hot preseason continues. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to what you saw here today and have a wonderful rest of your day.